Sorry, y'all. I know that this angle is probably a little bit different. I had some technical difficulties. Speaking of Watch What Happens Live, Scotty actually called me while I was recording and we had to talk. But um, for those of you who are used to seeing me on Watch What Happens Live, then you know that the last week that I appeared as a guest panelist, that I expressed what happened with the videos and the files going corrupt and me doing so much. Sidebar, I'm sorry for how wrinkled the backdrop is. I really am. I'll make sure that it's ironed or wrinkle free next time. But not tonight. So yeah, um, the files were corrupt. I stayed up nights and days because I'm also taking a real estate class as well, which I'm almost finished with. This is my second time taking it. I failed my final exam twice last time. I'm trying to do much better with it. The 24 hours in this one day, not enough. I have a 9-to-5 job. I work for the government. Stuff like that, that at any rate, I did a lot. It didn't work out. I was depressed about it. I actually just stopped doing everything, the videos, the class, everything. So I am coming back from that now. That's what this video is. So those of you who are watching, I do appreciate this so very much. Now, to get into this episode, I enjoyed it. It was very good. As a fan of both groups, or as a huge fan of both groups, I mean, it could not be enjoyed because I was going to enjoy it regardless. It could have just been SWV. It could have just been Xscape. I was going to enjoy it. So that's one thing. I definitely enjoyed it. I do feel like it's a slow start, but that's because it's the first episode. Excuse me. SWV and Xscape, they are very legendary groups and have very large fan bases and have huge legacies. However, combined, they haven't sold over 50 million records. So there's still millions and billions of people who still don't know who Xscape or SWV are, and they need to have to reintroduce themselves and give the rundown and kind of reopen that door to who they are for the new people who may stumble across the show, or for the younger generations who are not familiar. So, that part I can kind of move past. There were some scenes that I did want to move past, and that's only because I watched the sneak peek that they released the day before. Excuse me, my allergies. So, at any rate, I love to see when they had that dinner or brunch, lunch, whatever it was, where SWV and first off, let's go back to when everybody met up in Xscape except for Tasha. And Tamika was telling everybody what happened with the text message, even though they saw it. But they went into that and she was like, oh, Tasha felt like you body shamed her. Now listen, I get it. I get why Tasha felt that, but she know damn well Tamika was not body shaming her. I mean, well, she could have been. Let me say this. When you make any type of negative commentary about a person's physical shape, you know what? No, I'm not Team Tasha, but I don't want to be one of those people that are biased. Because if it was me, I would have definitely felt some type of way, and I would have definitely felt body shame. Whenever you make any dig at a person's body, it's body shaming, whether you really meant something derogatory by it or not. Because you didn't have to make a comment about her body. You didn't. Even though she told you to kiss her ass, you could have clapped back and got her ass together with something completely different. You didn't have to say that. So I get why she felt body shame. And I'm not really going to dispute that part. But also, my thing is, that's that. I don't even know if patronizing is the right word, because that's that bullshit that Tasha is doing. Saying, oh, you body shame me. You know how when you know damn well that a person didn't mean something by some shit, but you know if you took offense to it and stated that you took offense to it, that it would be valid because it would be a valid reason to be offended. Even though it's valid, and even though that is still body shaming, you know she didn't mean that motherfucking shit like that. Cut that the fuck out. You know damn well she was just getting back at you. And you know damn well, first of all, she what? Y'all one dress size the fuck apart? How is she going to body shame you? So, nah, I don't want to hear that. I don't. It's a valid thing, but she wasn't fucking body shaming you. I mean, she didn't mean to. She was just talking shit. That's how I take it. That's how I see it. That's how I received it. You talk shit, you told her to kiss your ass, and she told you when you get some ass to kiss, she'll fucking kiss it. It was a clapback. But Tamika and Tasha's defense, regretfully, that is body shaming. And Tiny Messy, her little kikis that she had, I can't. You know, Tiny, she always skated through when it came down to Xscape. And the reason why I say skated through is because I would like to say that Tiny is the type of motherfucker to play both sides. But I can't say that she play both sides because I've seen clips on multiple occasions where she done got everybody together and was like, what the fuck y'all got going on? So I can't say that she's ever really picked a side. She picked whatever side she felt was right. Well, I guess if you felt this person was right that day and you felt that person was right this day, that is playing both sides to most people. But shit, if it's right, it's fucking right. And if it's wrong, it's fucking wrong. And if she was fucking right today and you was motherfucking wrong tomorrow, then bitch, I don't feel like I'm fucking playing both sides. And I ain't told neither one of you bitches no lies. When you were wrong, you were fucking wrong. And I told you, when you were right, you were motherfucking right. And I sided with you. So I can't really say that she played both sides with any of the girls. She just don't be a part of that bullshit. Because I think that Tiny is focused more on her coin than anybody else in the fucking group. Tamika have deep-rooted issues with her sister that goes beyond the group. Latasha wants to be the breakout star of Xscape and be the #1 of Xscape. Let me say this, Xscape is so loved, there's no such thing as a #1 member in Xscape. So let that the fuck go. I don't care how many people favoritize your voice, how many people say that you was the greatest, because the thing is, I'll never take away from Latasha's vocal abilities. She could sing her ass off. Always could, always have, and probably always will. However, just because she had the typical backwater, out the church voice does not mean that her voice was just oh, so much more better than everybody else's in the group. Everybody else had something unique about themselves vocally that separated them from each other. So for her to have the arrogance and the cockiness to think that because you screamed over every fucking song that you was the best out of Xscape, it's ridiculous. So she had that breakout star in mind. And then Candy had her issues of feeling like the victim. And Tiny was on her coin. Everybody's mind was elsewhere, but Tiny wasn't on that bullshit. And that's why the clashes came, because everybody else's mind was on everything else other than the coin. And I'm not disputing how Candy felt, because from the stories that I've heard, she definitely is validated to me. But yeah, girl, get the fuck on. So, you know, SWV met up. In the next scene, we see that, and when they meet up, you know, they are performing. Now listen, I'm going to be 100% honest. I hate when I see SWV do anything live when it comes down to reality TV, because the reality show cameras, you know, they have, I don't know why they edited it the way that they edited it, but it don't, the sound don't be right. It don't be right. And it don't necessarily just, not just, because Coco always sounds great. And so do Lily and Taj. But it's in moments like that where Lily and Taj are not sounding that good. And as a singer, I get it. It's nerves. People who don't sing or who don't understand singing and who don't understand the art of it don't get how they don't get how much vocal anxiety you can have as a singer. Vocal anxiety and stage fright is real. You don't have to have anybody else around you to have vocal anxiety. Your vocal cords can feel that anxiety and immediately lock up just by you being in the room by yourself practicing, thinking to yourself, oh Lord, I know I gotta hit this, and no, I hope I don't mess it up. And that's why so many of the greats and so many of the professionals say that it is important to know that what you're doing, but you cannot be inside your head right here, because it's not going to work and it's not going to translate out into the ears how it should translate out into the ears, because your anxiety is not allowing your vocal cords to loosen enough. And that's my main problem that I struggle with. So I identify with it. So I'm not judging them for it at all. I don't think that they're horrible singers. When I've watched any live performance, I've always been pleased with Lily and Taj's vocal abilities. Especially this one performance, I have to remember it. I'm going to tell y'all if I can remember the next time that I do a review on this. But basically, what was it? Fuck it. I done forgot already. At any rate, SWV, they did their thing. Oh yes, that's what it was. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm a bit lit. I've been drinking and smoking, so memory a little hazy. But nonetheless, Lily did this. They did this performance of "If Only You Knew," and Lily sung her ass off. Okay, like it sent chills up my spine. And for those of you who know me, y'all know that Coco is like my favorite. But she sent chills up my spine, Lily did. And so in Taj, with Use Your Heart, and the way she sung her ass off on It's All About You, and there's plenty of moments that Taj has had actually. Her voice is strong. It's strong. She has, even though she's from New York, she has a strong Southern voice. That's what I love about Taj's voice. And you know, they do. First of all, nobody's harmonies outside of In Vogue is seen SWV's period. And let's just be honest, I don't give a fuck if your harmonies are better than SWV's. Their harmonies are unmatched. There is a angelic, nostalgic, loving tone to their harmonies that I can't really explain. It's just like honey on top of it. Sweet. I love it. But yeah. So they met up, they had the brunch. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if this really was Tamika or Taj's idea, but it seems like they are. It seems like everybody kind of had this idea since the verses. Now, when it come down to the verses, I know that Xscape fans hate to fucking hear this, but SWV won the verses. And this is not even just me being a biased SWV fan. This is based off the facts. If anybody who is familiar with the verses, the next day there is a winner declared by the official, association or whoever runs verses. They release the most charted song and the most favoritized songs out of that battle. And SWVs were more charted and more favoritized. So SWV won the battle in reality, real time. But everybody is free to choose who they want to choose and who they feel like won. That's the point of verses. It's a celebration and friendly competition. It's not beef and it's not to diminish the other one because you like one more. But they won that versus, and I know that it made Xscape be like, well, damn, our reunion was one of the biggest things since sliced bread, because I could say how SWV won that versus, but when they reunited and they made a comeback, it wasn't nearly as talked about and nearly as big as when Xscape did it. But I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later in this review. So, all that's said and done, and they get there, they're talking, and then Tasha come in with this stank ass attitude because the energy was very positive and very friendly and very amped and motivated before she walked in. And then she walked in, she didn't even really acknowledge anybody. You know, every time I see her, it's like she's stiff. Stiff, quiet, up, like, girl, what? It's people out here that's fucking dying. It's people out here in the middle of January and fucking February living under a bridge with no heat, no food, no water. And you mad because the only time that you can be fucking successful is with the group and not as a solo artist? Because if you was going to pop solo, you would have popped solo back when you tried to go solo the first time. Candy's solo shit was more successful than yours. And her album was heavily overlooked and underrated. Especially for the music that she made at the time period that she made it. That shit should have been all over the fucking radio. The shit that I heard from you, not so much. And that's okay. That don't mean you can't sing. Everybody got a certain factor about them. And Candy has that it factor. It don't have shit to do with your weight or anything like that, because now you're not the big girl. You thick and you fine and you look gorgeous to me. So you need to let that insecurity go. And you need to let that attitude go. Okay, you and your sister not getting along. I don't think that that would be some shit that you needed to bring at that time. That negative ass fucked up energy. Let's have the business meeting. Let's hear what the business is about. And let's discuss the business. And let's discuss the coin. And let's get that situated. And then once we talk about that, then I can go off to the side with my group and discuss what the fuck happened. Not discuss what's going on in front of everybody else. I get that y'all been friends since, 1920, both groups all intertwined as a sisterhood for over 20 years now. Wonderful. I love it. It excites me. That's why I'm watching the show. That's why I wish I could have went to the concert. However, this not some shit for you to discuss. It's like when you at a family reunion. Yeah, all of us is family, but that don't mean that the shit me and my siblings and my mama and my daddy got going on need to be put on Front Street in front of the whole motherfucking family at the family reunion. So yeah, that was very fucking stank for you to even come with that energy. And Lily let they ass know. She handled their ass. And she told their ass what the fucking real was. And it wasn't they really as an escape. It was Tasha and Tamika. And really not even Tamika. Tasha asked because everybody else is excited. It's Tasha. You're not excited because you want to have a problem. Because you don't want to be a part of the fucking group. That's what that is. Because you think that you can survive so well and so good as a fucking solo artist. And you cannot. What the fucking gospel music doing? You had an album release. I know that for a fact just like a week ago, or not even a whole week ago. Because I follow Coco and she was at your motherfucking album release party. Which looked a little skimpy as fuck, by the way. But that's neither here nor there. So that means that the fucking album is out or coming out. I ain't heard no gospel single or no R&B single, no single period that has made fucking waves. So what make you think that you so much bigger and better than Xscape? If you want to be solo and you have your own creative ideas and you want to do your own thing, that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But to turn your nose up at your group and to be fake as fuck, because see, that's the difference. I would stand behind you if you just say, I don't want to do Xscape because I want to be solo. And whether that is successful or unsuccessful is something that I want to do. I have my own visions, my own creative drive. I have my own thing that I want to do that y'all may not necessarily want to do. And I don't want to have to force the group into my ideas. So I want to go solo. That's how the fuck you do shit. You don't just pick random bones and be on bullshit. That's number one. So yeah, I was glad that Lily and Taj let their ass know and let her ass know, like, girl, this shit not that serious. Moving along. Let's see. I know I should have took notes, but I was just like so busy drinking and smoking and watching. Here I am. But yeah, so I know that like I said, some of it was not really memorable to me. I'm gonna be honest. It's no shade because I enjoyed it. But it was like the same shit, the reality housewives type shit. Showing them with their families. I like how Tamika is with her husband. I think they have a very loving, fun, secure relationship. Um, Latasha and her family, they just always, not they. She's always just so stiff. Her personality is just so stiff to me. She ain't never, I don't know. I don't feel expression from her. Something inside of her is dead. Um, I, of course, am used to Todd and Candy from watching Real Housewives. And it made me laugh. I'm glad that I remembered this. It made me laugh because um, Ace, he they was making a pizza and he was like, that's a lot of pizza for 4 people. That just go to show you that regardless of how much money Tide and Candy have, they don't fucking play. They budget. Point blank, period. Like, we not wasting money on no motherfucking bullshit. Period. And they teaching their kids that. And so, I like that. Um, there really wasn't anything else that stood out to me outside of those things, except for, of course, dun, 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 the big showdown, or the beginning of the big showdown with Tamika and Tasha. So, honestly, Tasha's so damn fake and phony in front of her mama, giving all of these hugs, and see, that's that bullshit that I be talking about. When people be fake nice. And see, that's the thing that my closest friends and my closest family don't understand when it come down to me. I don't do that fake ass motherfucking bullshit. Period. I don't do it. I speak my mind, I say what the fuck I feel, and I know that that is problematic for some people. Oh well. I avoid drama a lot. There's a lot of bullshit that I could be in, but I turn the other cheek. But there's just some motherfucking disrespect that I'm not going to take. And there's just some shit that I'm not going to let you motherfucking do to me. And there's this some shit that might get your teeth slapped out your fucking mouth when it come down to me. So, I don't do that fake ass motherfucking shit, period. And, oh, when Tamika was like, oh, we hugging now? You my sister, don't do that. I always give you a hug. I'm glad that Bravo done started pulling up receipts. They went right back to the clip to when Tamika came in, or when Tasha came in, whoever the fuck came in last. And Tamika didn't hug no motherfucking body. She looked up, Tasha looked Tamika up and down, sized her the fuck up. Tamika was trying to be funny, lighten the mood and shit, because we are siblings, and like, let's not do this. Like, we here for business. So, when she said that, oh, I hug my sister all the time. Girl, cut the fucking bullshit. Cut the bullshit. Cut the bullshit. So, they started talking. And I'ma tell you, the problem don't have shit really to do with Tamika and Tasha. It's that mama playing fucking favorites, choosing favorites. And let me say this, I know when it come down to me doing any reviews or being on a panel, especially with reality TV, and I have an opinion on somebody's mother, I understand if you don't fucking like me, but guess the fuck what? I bet you know what the fuck I say is the truth. I try to tread light with people's parents because I don't want mine to be disrespected, but I'm gonna tell you what. My mom has never treated any of her fucking kids different, and anybody that watched this show, just from that small clip, you can clearly fucking see that Latasha is the mom's favorite between the two of them girls. For whatever reason. For whatever reason. I don't never get why moms will play favorites. I can understand why parents have a favorite. Because at the end of the fucking day, let's just be real. We all have a favorite something. We all have a favorite parent, a favorite cousin, a favorite sibling, and a favorite fucking child. They ain't off limits. Nonetheless, that favoritism should never be displayed. It should never waver your treatment against either fucking child that's not the favorite. Any of that bullshit. Your kids should not even know that there is a such thing as a favorite. They should all think that they're the fucking favorite, like how all of my cousins do. Because I have favorite cousins. I love them all equally the same, would be equally as fucking devastated if anything happened to any of them. But I have different bonds with some of them. And some of them that I don't have different bonds with, that I'm not even that close to. It's just something about them that I like. And I love them. So I favoritize them. But I'm not going to treat them different because I like something about them. I'm not going to treat them different because we are close and because I favoritize them. No. The problems that Xscape have, and this is why childhood traumas are serious, I blame Tamika and Latasha's mother for all of Xscape's problems. Not all of them, but the bulk of them, the majority of them, the problems that broke that fucking group up. You know why that group had an issue? For one, you gave Latasha the big head. You made her feel like everybody else was beneath her because you felt like you had this chocolate, big boned little girl and you had to uplift her self-esteem. You're not wrong there. I'm not a parent, but I've been a child, so I feel like I have the right to have a fucking opinion. For those of you who are going to throw that little tidbit out there. At any rate, you gassed her head up. You gave her the big head. You weren't wrong for uplifting your child and teaching her self-love. But obviously it didn't work because she still got so many fucking insecurities. At the end of the day, you gave her that big head. Let me move on to the next point because I've said that a couple of times. You gave her that big head. Then when she got in a group, she felt like, oh, I'm the voice of this group. They can't survive without me. Matter of fact, I'm the star. I'm the star of this group. Okay. That started her problems with her and Candy. Because when Candy was doing whatever she was doing, because Tasha had the big head, and because she was so out for herself and wanted to be solo so motherfucking bad, she felt like Candy was trying to do some shit to sabotage her and steal her shine and block her. No, bitch, Candy was just young and experiencing life. That's what the fuck she was doing. Whereas with Tamika and Tasha, Tamika was very jealous of her relation. Latasha was very jealous of Tamika's relationship with Candy. Because Candy and Tamika have the sisterly relationship that Tamika and Tasha never did. That's the thing that people don't know. See, Tamika was in behind Latasha on some, that's my sister, and she said all that bullshit on the radio about Candy because she wanted to please Tasha. Because they've always had this competitive sibling rivalry growing up because the mother favoritized Latasha. So when the opportunities would come for her to support her sister and show her like, I'm your sister, I got your back, we can really have that relationship, she did it. To no avail, because look at them now. Or prevail, however you say it. Look at them now. Nothing. It's fucked up. So the only reason that Tamika said all of that bullshit about Candy was just to please Latasha so that she could finally be a fucking sister to her. Now, I don't think that this whole thing was a big deal about her getting left. You are a grown-ass woman, but she was locked out of her dressing room. That means if she was locked out of her dressing room, all of her personal belongings was in there. Probably phone, wallet, keys, the essentials, the shit you fucking need was probably locked in that fucking dressing room. And you left her with not a pot to piss in. You didn't give a fuck if she got home to her family. You didn't give a fuck if she was able to get home to her family, you and your entourage, because you want to go solo and you think you're a star so fucking bad, decided to strut y'all motherfucking ass up out there like it was coming to America and y'all was African motherfucking royalty and not say shit to nobody. And how come Tamika and Candy is always getting the short end of the stick when it comes down to this motherfucking group? Because Latasha and Tiny ain't never getting locked out of the fucking dressing room. Latasha and Tiny ain't never feeling appreciated or being appreciated. I don't think. It's always some heat or some bullshit that somebody feel, especially Latasha, against them. Nonetheless, even though I don't think that the shit was that serious, her feelings are valid to me. Because I would have been pissed the fuck off too. Ain't no telling how fucking long it took her to get home. Did she not perform? Was she not tired? Is she not a married woman with a family? Yeah. I'd have been fuck pissed off too. Nonetheless, I don't think that I would have had a whole fallout with my sister about it. But see, that's that bickering shit. The situation wasn't that deep to fall out about, but once y'all got into the argument and said all of the hurtful things to each other, that's how that happened. Nonetheless, all of those problems, the origin of it is the traumas from Tamika's childhood and Tasha's childhood. All of this shit that go on in this group comes from the bullshit that they mama started with them when they were kids and raised them up into. And then they brought that toxic ass shit to the group, brought shit that don't have shit to do with the group to the group, and now it's a thing. Because you know damn well Tasha didn't like the fact that Tamika was that close to Candy. But when somebody is treating me better than you, blood, family, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, oh well, they treat me better. So that's where the fuck I'm going to ride. I don't get what's not understandable about that. And the mom was very quiet when Tamika called her the fuck out. She sure was. And I don't see where Tamika disrespected her mama. Motherfuckers gotta stop saying that. Just because you my mama, just because you my auntie, just because you my grandma, don't fucking mean that I can't put you in your place. And when it come down to Reginald William motherfucking Grooms, guess what that means? If I ever feel the need to put you in your goddamn place, I'ma put you in that motherfucker. Oh well. Oh well. Oh the fuck well. You'll be okay when the swelling goes down, as my mother says. So, yeah. As a mom, I don't feel like you did a bad job. Your children, shit. They did more than my mama kids. Even though we doing good too. Don't get it twisted. But they've accomplished, your children have accomplished great things. And I have to think that that does have to do with your parenting. I don't think that they're bad people. They love their children. They're great mothers. Yeah, you did a good job. But there's no rule book to parenting. And I'm sure when my turn comes, there's going to be areas where my children and motherfuckers can correct me in. And I'm going to have to accept that. You pit your daughters against each other with your favoritism. And that might have been subconsciously and not on purpose, but that's what the fuck you did. And that toxicity trickled right on into Xscape. So I'm very excited to see next week. I am ready to see more of SWV. But SWV, they've worked through a lot of their drama. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that there's going to be much drama captured on their side as a group. I don't think that we're going to receive more SWV drama and more intriguing content with SWV involved until we start getting into the who's going to do what for the SWV Xscape concert tour. I didn't mean to put it in quotations like it was some bullshit, or just tour, because, well, the tour didn't happen yet or isn't happening. They just did the concert or some spot dates, whatever. So, yeah, I'm excited. I want to see more SWV. I can't wait to see what happens with the rest of this argument with Tamika and Latasha. Um, but I think that this is a pretty solid show. I do think that it's pretty good. I do. I do. I think that they could pull in a decent amount of ratings. And to start off with this type of drama, to leave us on that cliffhanger with two of the sisters having this big heated argument with their mom, is definitely going to guarantee the ratings. And plus, people like drama, period. They didn't have to be escaped, and this would have still brought in some ratings. So the fact that it's them and that it's this, yeah. But y'all continue to check in every week, watch. It is good, and it's only going to get better. I'm sure of that. And, when you see this video, tell me what y'all think about my opinions. Comment, share, like, do all of those things. And, let me know what y'all think. Let me know how y'all feel about the show as well. And there will be some more things coming up for y'all. Music, more of my cover videos, a lot. I'm working on it, and I'm so sorry that I was not able to provide y'all everything that I gave y'all before, because it was going to be amazing. But it's okay. We're going to get there. Just keep tuning in to Reggie Artiste TV, showing some love, and thank you.